thing never gets softer.
It's always
Howdy!
really loud.
Yeehaw! I'm in my best fall attire, everybody.
And I'm just really emo. I got my chonky boots that you can't see. My black ripped up skinny jeans. I feel like I'm dressed to go to Warped Tour.
Oh, are you dressed to go to Warped Tour? How?
I
What's the word? Fitting, appropriate.
How serendipitous.
Ooh.
Yes, big word.
So hello and welcome to She Headbangs. It is our 8th headbanging session.
Ever.
Ever.
My neck is starting to hurt, guys.
Oh, I went to the chiropractor today, so
okay,
I don't have that
good.
problem. But anyways, this will be our last ever episode because we've peaked.
This is our peak.
This is our peak. If you stick around till 7 p.m., you will see us interview the one, the only Kevin Lyman.
Kevin Lyman.
Founder of Warped Tour, founder of Forfini, just to name a few of the best things he's ever done with his life.
There's only a few things.
Only a few things.
We only have a whole paragraph or
Yeah.
3 about him.
But if you stick around 7 p.m., he will be here to chat with us about the future of live music, what bands can be doing in the interim, and of course, we wouldn't have him on the show and not talk about the Vans Warped Tour.
I mean, I guess.
Yeah.
But
So
I think
anyways,
we're also going to talk a little bit about just him and, you know,
what he's up to since
what he's up
he
to.
retired. He certainly didn't retire. He just
No.
retired the Warped Tour. So anyways, yeah, here we go. Let's get into She Head Bangs with a little new Music Monday.
Yeah.
Let's do it. I'm going to tell my friends I'm live.
Okay, well, while you're doing that, we have
You should tell your friends that we're live.
You should. We have a new song from Atreyu,
Atreyu.
which is awesome. I feel like I say this a lot, but
Atreyu.
I don't listen to a ton of Atreyu, but like I feel like every time I do, I'm like, man, I should listen to more Atreyu
Yeah.
every time, but I never do. I'm just like, oh, that's a great song.
You're like, oh, wow, they're really good. Move on with my life.
Wow, great song.
This is such a
Anyway.
banger, though.
It really is. Save us from Atreyu.
I hope Atreyu can save us. Have you been through this year? I hate it.
I have no words. I hope everyone's 2020 is at least about the same, because then at least we're all in this together. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
But anyway, the song. It's so good. It's so catchy. It has such a good chorus. Because I feel like that's the most important part. Is your chorus.
The chorus is absolutely the most important thing.
It absolutely is.
For me, vocals are the most important thing.
Right.
And he just like
It's powerful.
his back hurts from carrying the entire band.
Wow. Betray you if you're listening.
I've thrown the gauntlet.
I've thrown the gauntlet. Apparently everyone else needs to step it up. But anyway. All right. And also we have some Escape the Fate.
Oh, yeah.
I'm like, that's not Escape the Fate playing. We're listening to it in our headphones, by the way. Which maybe one day we'll be able to have everybody listen with us.
Yeah, maybe sooner than you think.
Stay
Tuned
that a
for
hint?
a spicy
The
announcement
spicy.
next week.
Yes.
Come back next week if you want to know.
But anyway, yeah, so we have Invincible by Escape the Fate featuring
Man, they just put
Lindsay
out good
Sterling.
music.
What?
They just put out good music.
They do. I love his voice.
I also love Lindsay Sterling. I don't know if you ever need some like white girl violin, but like that's her.
I mean, yeah. Who doesn't need some white girl violin, honestly?
Everybody does.
Everybody does.
This
But
is a
so
Lindsay
good.
Sterling fan account.
This is Lindsay Sterling featuring Escape the Fate.
Yeah, literally. But yeah, it's banging. It's a banger. It's a she headbanger.
It's a she headbanger.
It has the she headbang seal of approval. This is a good song.
On
I
a
need to
scale
turn up
of-
my microphone. I can hear myself so badly.
On a scale of 1 to she headbangs, she headbangs.
She do.
She do.
Indeed, she do.
But man, it's just, I don't know.
It's melodic.
It's so melodic.
It's very, but I think that's a testament to Lindsay Sterling. I mean, Escape
Girl,
the
you're
Fate
right.
makes melodic hardcore all the time, but Lindsay Sterling's just like the sprinkles on top of their very delicious cupcake.
I like that.
You're
The
welcome.
sprinkles on top of their very delicious cupcake.
Yeah, own it.
Absolutely. Moving on, we have a little bit of Life Itself.
Yo, so Life Itself came to us, and I'm glad they did.
Crazy. Yes.
Crazy.
Yes, an up and coming band. They're from New Jersey.
Yeah.
Um,
Joyzy.
Joyzy. I'm sure they get that a lot. They probably hate it. It's
Sorry,
just New
we're
Jersey.
Southerners. We're rednecks. We have to.
We have to do it. It's melodic hardcore,
It is.
and this song is
They
away
could
from.
go on tour with Escape the Fate.
You know what? Let me just hit up my guys from Escape the Fate and let
them know that you're interested. I don't even know
Right.
if you're interested, but you could be. And if you are, we'll let them know.
Yeah.
You're good enough to be on tour with Escape the Fate.
Just give us a free ticket to see.
We need to.
I mean, give us a free ticket. Like,
are we going to be those random bitches who are like, can you put us on the guest list?
All I have to
That's
say
my
is if
pet
we help you
peeve.
get on a tour.
I mean, if we...
That's all
we
I
don't
ask.
know Escape the Fate.
We don't.
Disclaimer.
If we did.
It's a little harder than it seems. But anyways, yes, Live Itself.
Yes. Featuring Brian Willie of Currents.
Ah.
Oh.
Uh-huh.
Interesting.
Currents.
But it's good. I feel like they have some really solid screams.
They do.
Which I feel like is important.
It's important.
Like, you either hit or miss with those.
And not to be that person, but like we got a lot of the same this week.
We did.
It was a lot of melodic hardcore submissions.
It was.
And it was survival of the fittest, and they really stuck out.
They really did.
So Live Itself is good.
They were giving us
They
life.
were good.
They were.
It's death itself now.
Oh man.
Just kidding. Live Itself, check them out.
Check them out. So good.
What's next, Megs?
Well, next up, Breakups Suck.
They do.
They really do. By TLB.
TLB got a little bit of punk rock for it. Yeah.
Breakups Suck.
Yeah.
It's really straightforward, but it's so good.
That's how punk rock is supposed to be. Like, it's not supposed to be like I found that punk rock is one of two things. It's either very deep and political, or it's like, I hate this, and that's it. It's either super deep, or it's like straight to the point. Like we're gonna hold a beer and headbang to this melody.
And you know what? Same.
Because you got the point. Breakups suck. You got the point.
Sometimes I want to get like really deep and philanthropic.
Philanthropic. We're not good with words today.
I never am good with words. If you've seen any of our episodes, I don't know how to speak words.
You should probably be looking at the comments. Oh my gosh.
Oh man.
You guys, sorry if you've been leaving comments. We don't know.
Man,
comments. We'll pull them up. Here we go. Turn my phone down.
But yeah.
There have been none, so perfect. Thanks, you guys. Drop a comment if you're watching. Jeez.
Oh my gosh.
There's 14 of you. We see you. Say hello. Tell us where you're from.
And if you're from Chicago, say hey to TLB for us.
TLB. Not to get confused with Don't Go Chasing Waterfalls by TLC.
It's the same band.
They're not the same band. Oh my Lord.
Oh man. Very, very different.
How embarrassing.
Absolutely not the same in any way.
See, TLB does go chasing waterfalls, and that's why they make good music.
Yes. And then, okay.
What's next?
Can I just say, I love.
Okay, honestly, this was a banger.
It was. They have so many they released a short EP with 3 songs, and some of the songs feature Papa Roach, and Ice 9 Kills, and Tech Nine. So,
I'm from Ukraine. Yo, hello, bonjour. I don't know. That's French.
If it makes you feel any better, I really wanted to say hola.
We don't know languages. We just know music.
To be fair, we know that the Ukraine does not speak either of those languages.
You shared out. Thank you, Tyson. Love you.
Hey, love you.
But anyways, so Hollywood Undead.
I love them.
Man, when have I ever not loved Hollywood Undead? I'll tell you the story. If my dad's watching, sorry, Dad. One time I told my parents I was going to see a punk band, or it was a punk pop band. And not even punk. They're like a bubblegum pop band called Hollywood Ending. But I was actually going to see Hollywood Undead because they wouldn't let me go. So I was like, I'm going to see Hollywood Ending downtown.
They're the same.
And then I was like, yeah.
Sorry, I had to put on the one with Tech Nine. It's called Idol, by the way. It's so good.
Yeah.
I mean, Tech Nine is a great rapper.
Like,
so
I want to be mad that Hollywood Undead's so good.
Why?
Because they were like garbage in high school and I liked them, and I want them to be garbage forever, so I can at least have a moment of like, wow, I listened to garbage music in high school and I can move on from it. But I can't, because now they're actually making good music.
Does anyone ever move on from the music they listened to in high school? Like,
no.
Really?
Speaking of,
no
music in high school.
Oh my God,
Attack is back.
Oh, I was about to say that's a really good segue to our next.
Oh, go ahead and do it. Take it.
But also Attack is back.
It's yours.
Anyway. Mayday Parade.
Speaking of high school.
Oh my God, I love Mayday Parade.
I love Mayday Parade.
Out of Here is out.
It's out
of here.
It is. It's out of sight. It's so good. It's out of this world. It's
out
so
of here
good.
and onto Spotify.
And in my heart.
And in my heart.
Derek Sanders forever.
I just love it because it's classic Mayday Parade, but it's still like...
You know what my favorite thing about Mayday Parade is?
What?
They're like the one like a punk pop band that like doesn't have any sexual assault accusations that actually makes good punk pop music.
Can we not talk about All Time Low?
Oh shit! Wow. Okay, well we shouldn't say they don't have accusations. None of theirs have been proven, but there were a few that were passed around back in the day.
Oh,
I'll fill you in on all that, girl. Like we got things to talk about.
We got some things to talk about.
We'll talk about that.
What even is next?
On After Dark.
Oh my gosh.
She Headbangs After Dark. Leave us a comment if you'd like to come to She Headbangs After Dark.
That sounds...
It's basically just Megan riding a bull.
I was going to say that sounds really provocative, and then you made it worse.
The worst part is that actually happened.
Oh, God. Okay, it's very normal to ride a mechanical bull, okay?
Not the way you did it.
And that's all that we are talking about, because you will not ever let me love it down.
I have a video.
Anyway,
get us to 1 million subscribers, and I'll post it.
You will not.
1 million?
I don't care.
Okay.
That is not okay.
Anyways, all that I've lost by coasting on potential.
They're from New York.
They are. And I will say, you and I both agreed.
I think
not that we don't. I say it every week. We don't pick favorites, but this is our favorite.
But we picked a favorite.
Collectively, this was our favorite submission of the week. Coasting on potential.
It was.
It's really good.
So not to say that the other bands weren't fantastic, because they all were. Obviously, if they weren't,
they wouldn't be on here.
They wouldn't be on here. So,
but I think what I like about it is it reminded me almost of like Asking Alexandria.
Okay.
Because like it's super heavy in the verse and the chorus comes in and it's just beautiful, which is for me, very reminiscent of Danny Worsnop.
Okay.
Not Dennis,
but
though.
Danny. But it's really good. All that I've lost, coasting on potential.
I also love old Hollywood Undead music. I'm just embarrassed to admit it.
Don't be. You're a new person.
They're gonna come on this show and be like, "Girl, fuck you."
Remember that time they signed my band's flag?
Oh my god! Remember that one time you opened for Hollywood Undead?
Yeah, I guess.
Megan's band opened for Hollywood Undead one time. She won't tell you.
I pretend to be modest.
John asked them to give y'all a shout out at Rockville, and he was like, "Yeah, what time are y'all playing?" He's like, "We're not." And then he got the city wrong. So.
Oh my god, he really did. He said Atlanta two times.
We were in Jacksonville. He was like, "What's up, Atlanta?" And we're like,
"You're in the wrong
this
state,
ain't it, Chief.
This ain't it, Chief." But he was like, not to walk into y'all's dressing room, and then proceeded to walk into their dressing room.
Yeah.
Oh man, that was a good time.
He's bold. We appreciate him.
We love it. Honestly.
I like how I say he's bold. I'm looking at a picture of him wearing a light blue button up.
It was a bold choice.
It was. Anyways, back to Coasting on Potential. Absolutely check these guys out.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so this EP is very good, the whole thing. It's not just this one song. Well, they can't even hear. Y'all can't even hear it.
Not the one song that you can't listen to,
but the other ones you also can't hear.
But to be fair, if you want to listen to any of the songs that we're talking about, we do have an updated weekly playlist of new music, and it gets updated right after the show.
I was about to say, I don't like plugging it for you because I don't know if you've updated it, so I leave it for you to plug.
I literally update it the second we go off the air.
Yeah.
Because I don't want them to be listening now, because they should be watching our show.
Yeah, true. Tell your friends, come on in. If you share this show, I don't know.
We'll say hey if you leave a comment.
Yeah.
We'll talk to you. We'll be your friend.
If we get 100 shares on this, we're at 52 right now. If we get 100 shares on this episode, what will we do?
We'll go live and thank everyone. Probably.
We're not this isn't very incentivizing.
We'll go to a Mexican restaurant and drink margaritas.
Yeah.
Which we'll do anyway.
Yeah.
I don't know.
We will.
Leave us a comment of what the incentive should be.
Tell us what kind of incentives would you guys want from us? What kind of if we were to make I don't want to say if we were to make merch, but if we were to send you guys gifts stickers or posters or t-shirts or something, what would you guys want if we made a merch store?
I'll send you a t-shirt from my band. It's not related to She Headbangs, but I have those.
Yeah. Maybe we'll invite somebody on the show one day.
Ooh,
that's a good incentive. I don't have friends. That's okay. You can still share it. Share it to your 0 friends.
Well, your Facebook feed must be really boring.
Yeah. What are you looking at on Facebook?
Oh, you know what? There's groups and pages.
Share us to a group. Yeah. Share us to one group you're in. All right, let's get back on track.
Anyway.
Now that we're shamelessly plugging ourselves while we're talking on the
Anyway, we have Heaven Shall Burn with Of Truth and Sacrifice.
I like that.
I love the album cover.
It is very dope.
It's so cool. You can tell they put a lot of work into it.
It's like it's not medieval, Renaissance painting.
Oh, it's like a Renaissance.
It is like a Renaissance painting.
But it's really cool. It's a metalcore melodic death metal from Germany. First of all, and I love whenever they sent us their submission, they let us know there are 5 vegan guys, and they're all about the environment, animals, and politics.
I loved that.
Yes.
I love when we get music from people and they like actually tell us what they're about.
Yeah.
We got one that was like a smiley face, and I was like, tell me something I don't know.
I just responded with a frowny face. I'm just kidding. I did not, but I wanted to.
Oh my gosh.
It's like, oh. No, amazing. But the music was good, so it's okay.
I love Heaven Shall Burn. What? For real?
Yeah.
Wait, are you in Heaven Shall Burn? Oh. No, you're from the Ukraine, so you can't be. Oh. That's so exciting.
They do have a pretty popular following.
Oh, do they really?
Yes.
Nice.
They have a lot of
We love
followers.
European metal bands.
We love metal bands.
We do.
But it's so good. And it's also a 2 CD. It's a 2-disc release.
Oh, nice.
So there's a ton of new
They must
music.
be doing really well to be putting things on compact discs these days. I'm proud of them.
Girl, you right. I have nothing more to say to that.
Nothing more to say.
That's it. That's really good. Again, with the solid screams. Solid.
Yeah.
I feel like I would hear them on.
Oh, he said he sent us Heaven Shall Burn.
Oh,
well, thank you for the submission. We liked it. Clearly.
Okay, gotcha.
Sick. Well, tell them you sent them our way, and make them plug you on social media so you have friends. That's what I'm saying.
See, man, you have 2 more friends right here.
You do. It's us.
It's us. We are your new friends.
We are.
All right. Well, as much as we love them, there was a new music video that came out along with the new EP that came out.
Oh, yeah.
First Train by Mayday Parade.
Yeah, you were just watching this.
I was just watching this. It's so...
It's a ride. It's a wild ride.
It's really good. I wanted him to get the girl at the end.
I know.
But they just didn't follow up with it.
But maybe, that's what I'm saying is maybe there'll be like a follow-up video. Mayday Parade, if you're watching this, if you're like, I'll post this on our page and tag you in it. Megan's upset that there was no redemption at the end of the music video. So please, for the love of God, follow up.
This boy
turn them into a crime-fighting robot team.
This boy was about to have his very awkward first kiss. We've all had them. There's no shame. And he didn't get it. He got ripped away by some terrible boys. Granted, he got his revenge on them.
Yeah.
He came back.
But did he get the girl?
But did he get the girl? Oh my gosh.
We're hopeless romantics over here.
This character arc is just killing me. I need more.
She needs more.
I need more story. Maybe that's why they do that. So that you're like, oh man, this next video.
Yeah, maybe. See,
man.
You never know. They may drop a surprise on you.
I guess. But anyway.
Guess what time it is? Time for
Yes.
We're gonna do that every week, and every week someone's gonna like leave after we do it.
Yeah, because nobody's gonna know why we even do it anymore.
Yeah.
And we shouldn't.
And be like, what?
It just accepted.
Are they okay?
No. Anyway, time for some news.
Yes.
Save Our Stages, the 3-day event live stream. It ended yesterday.
This was awesome.
This
was really cool.
It was a really, really, really cool thing. In case you didn't hear about it, it was a 3-day live stream event that partnered with YouTube. They were trying to get money donated and help the most vulnerable venues affected by COVID-19. There were a ton of different artists, a ton of different venues that participated.
And I think my favorite thing was it's like a bunch of different genres too.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so I do have a list because I had to put all my favorites on here.
Yeah.
There was Marshmello and Demi Lovato at the Troubadour in Hollywood. Kelsey Ballerina at Exit Inn in Nashville. Ballerina. What did I say?
Ballerina.
Did I really?
Yeah.
Oh God.
Sounds like a doll. Kelsey Ballerina.
My bad. I actually really like her music too.
I do too.
So sorry, Kelsey.
She has. We're talking about country music again. Sorry.
Rise Against at the Metro. Miley Cyrus at Whiskey A Go Go. Foo Fighters again at the Troubadour. The Roots at the Apollo Theater. Reba McEntire at the Ryman.
I may just be playing white trash, but Fancy is my name.
Oh my God. Who doesn't like Reba?
Nobody. You know who does like Reba? Dan Valentine. My dad loves Reba. Okay. Don't know. I'm not gonna say I don't know why, but
yeah, I know exactly why.
I know exactly why too. But like, it's a bit intense. Yeah.
Who hasn't watched Reba?
I really just want to sing the theme song now. How does it go?
Oh man, I would have been able to. Oh God, I would have had it
if it plays on TV. My lips are planted in the past. Thought my life was changing fast. Who I am is who I wanna be. Okay, anyways.
If she didn't perform that this past weekend,
loves her kids. Drop a comment if you watched Reba. Just shamelessly own it. We all watched Reba at one point in our life.
Oh man. Well, while you're dropping comments, I made a banner for this next segment. Not segment, this next news.
Tell us. Slippity dippity masks. For those of you who are new here and are like, what the fuck is a slippity dippity? For whatever reason, one time when I was drunk, I called Slipknot slippity dippity, and it just stuck.
Just to be fair, guys, I did make a normal one. Slipknot release.
What up? What up? New to the show. Hey, like, is it Graven or Graven? I used to watch Reba.
Oh yes.
We're proud of you. Thank you for being the manliest man, if that's what you are. The themist they. I hate the idea of thinking I've misgendered somebody, but
the
feminist they. Thank you for owning the fact that you used to watch Reba, because
the Reba was a good show, no matter
what gender you are.
Yes.
Non-binary species.
No matter what you are,
you believe you are.
Yes. Oh, we love it.
I feel like we're gonna get canceled for that, but
we didn't mean it.
It wasn't malice. It was just me being stupid.
Anyway, Slipknot has started selling "We Are Not Your Kind" era masks, which is really cool. The most expensive one is Craig's. Craig Jones. His is $55, but it comes with a completely working zipper and removable straws, which I think is really interesting. It's like an interactive mask. Corey Taylor's is only $40, and then everyone else's is $35.
But like Corey Taylor's ain't anything special.
It's just Corey Taylor's.
Corey Taylor's
That's it. That makes it special.
Freaking, you know how I feel.
We all know. We love Slippity Dippity.
Slippity Dippity.
We're gonna bring it down for just a moment.
Okay, bring it down
because we gotta talk about it. The 2nd anniversary of Ollie Herbert's passing. I know. I'm sorry. In case you didn't know, he's from All That Remains.
I did know that.
Okay. Well, you're not the only one I'm talking to. So I just wanted to take a moment to...
Someone said, Meg, you rock, looking forward to new music from you guys.
It's coming
sooner than you think.
We're in the studio right now.
I'm just their number one fan.
Yes.
I used to be anyways.
Wow.
Sorry.
Who wants to be our new number one fan?
I retired.
Because unfortunately it can't
I'm
be
jumping
me.
on the Reba train.
Oh my god. Can I?
Me and my dad.
Can I join?
Yeah.
Oh man. That's fine. Anyway, I have a list of upcoming live streams to get off of that subject real fast. I found like a whole
Reba McEntire.
Oh my god. If she's doing a live stream, someone please let me know.
Yeah. Reba, drop a link. Reba McEntire, please drop a comment if you're watching.
Reba, if you're watching this, please.
If you're one of the 8 people watching Reba,
we love it.
Drop a comment.
Anyway, in the next week or so, All Time Low is doing one of their live streams. It's in a series of live streams where the set list is completely picked by each member of the band.
I really like that they did that.
That's really cool.
First of all, that's a really cool and thoughtful thing to do. Second of all, what a capitalist move to let each of your band members pick, knowing people are going to buy tickets to all 4.
Yes. So their first... So the one coming up is on the 23rd of October, but they do have one in November and they have 2 in December, which we will talk about. So stay tuned if you want those dates, or just Google it.
We will absolutely talk about their picks as well, because I actually am going to buy tickets for this.
Oh, nice. Okay, there you go.
Oh, you know, I love time now. Back we got here.
Yeah, I know.
You my last young. Moving on. Okay.
Not to be outdone or compete. Seven Dust is also having a live stream on the 23rd. So
different shows for different folks, man. You know, like
you're right. I ain't mad about it. This is their only show of the year. Seven Dust. This is their only show of the year.
You ain't the only one, Seven Dust, okay?
Wow, same.
You're not special.
And it just happens to be on the same day as their album release for Blood and Stone.
Awesome.
We love a good Atlanta band.
Yeah. Oh, I always forget about that.
I don't.
Okay. She doesn't forget.
I think about it every day.
Okay.
I'm just kidding. I don't. That'd be weird. On the 24th, Trivium is doing a full run through of the Deepest Cuts 2. As far as I know. That's what they're planning to play.
You know a music video we didn't talk about?
Oh God.
The 5 Finger Death Punch.
I knew you were gonna say that. I didn't put it on here on
there
purpose.
There are a lot of mixed feelings about that, but you know, we're supposed to be controversial on the show.
Are we?
No,
I'm not.
Yeah. Well, that's why I'm here.
Oh God. Okay. I could see why everyone thought they were anti-mask, and then they came out and they were like, "This is not an anti-mask."
They really like went there like anti-mask, and then they're selling masks. I was like for a quick second, like,
y'all really bold with this one.
I was like, all right, y'all, like, go ahead, I guess.
But then they sell masks, so it's okay.
Yeah, it's fine
as long as they're selling masks.
Nobody knows what they're doing anymore. No one knows where to stand.
I guess you're right.
All right, anyways, let's bust through these anniversaries and birthdays. So we got 5 minutes.
Oh man.
Then
we get to talk to Kevin Lyman. I'm gonna say that as annoyingly as possible. Oh my god.
Not when he's on though.
I won't, don't worry.
I hope he's watching this right now. I was like, what have I got myself into?
I'll pretend to act professional. Anyway, we have some anniversaries and some birthdays like we do every single week.
We are really about to become different people though. Like we're over here being crazy. He's gonna get on. We're gonna be like, so hi Kevin, how are you today?
Thank you so much for joining us.
You're gonna see us go like change on a dime, you guys. I'm just glad you guys were here before so you could see what we're really like.
We can give you a before and after.
Anyways, so anniversaries, Limp Bizkit.
I know you.
Chocolate starfish and the hot dog flavored water.
I hate that.
I also hate that.
I mean, the music's not bad, but like, I just don't like that.
The name.
I don't like the cover either.
Okay, first of all, hot dog flavored water, like, that's already nasty.
Worst. Anyway, it came out on.
What's chocolate starfish?
I don't want to know.
Okay. 20 years ago.
It reminds me of like a. Never mind.
Okay.
I'm gonna keep it PG. It came out on October 17th of 2000.
Okay.
2000
years ago.
That's it. 20 years ago.
Cool.
And then Ghost also released
a decade of. I'm not gonna pronounce it because I still don't know how 10 years later.
I don't know either. Opus
and Ponymus. Eponymus.
I'm not gonna attempt it. It came out 10 years ago on October 18th.
Yeah, Papa, tell us how to pronounce it. Papa. Oh man, Demetrius. He changes his. You know that he changes his like facade every, like every album, right?
Oh
yeah.
No, I did not know that. Actually, that's really cool.
He's like really weird glam metal, actually.
And then finally,
it's Ghost, but he's like, there's only one of them that people know about,
right? Anyway, to finish up this segment, we have Chris Motionless from Motionless in White.
He's only 34.
He's only 34.
That sounds really bad.
He's only 34.
He's only 34. That's
34
nice.
years young. And then Chad Gray from Hell Yeah and Mudvayne, 49.
I didn't realize. Okay, learn something new every day.
You absolutely do.
I did not realize he was in both, but there we go.
He was.
Hit the pedal, heavy metal. Hell Yeah and Mudvayne. Very cool. All right, you guys. Well, the time has come and he is here.
He is here. We're so excited.
Everyone say hello and welcome to Kevin Lyman.
Oh. Hello. How are you? Thanks for having me.
How are you?
I'm glad we made this work today. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Thank you for coming.
Yeah.
So what have you been up to during the pandemic?
Well, for the first time in 28 years, I didn't have a summer tour to produce.
Yeah.
So what was I up to? For the first part of it, I was up rehabbing a knee surgery that I really needed to do right this time instead of going on a 40, 50 city tour right after it. I got pretty good at cornhole in my backyard. I hit a few golf balls into a net. My barbecuing, which I've always loved, got better. And my garden, Instagram was big on my garden. But since then, I was being a full-time professor now at USC, so you had to adapt. I'm doing 5 classes right now, and now really working on this I Voted concerts, and there's always something to keep busy. And then, we've got this Adapt conference coming up this week. So, there's always things to keep busy. And then, trying to, support our friends and support each other, talking, some days I get down, some days they get down. And then we get together and talk about, how we're going to come back from all of this when we can.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. You're kind of going through it right now.
Oh man,
how do you even win?
There's no shows.
Yeah, no shows at all.
I mean, I feel like it's been a lot of work on the back end.
Yeah,
taking the time to just write, record, and get everything done.
So,
and then whenever shows come back safely,
we're
gonna be all about it.
When would you feel comfortable going back to a show? What do you think? What's the procedure have to be?
It was interesting. A lot of people called me right away about, hey, Kevin, do you want to put on a drive-in show? Do you want to do this type of thing? And it was really weird for me coming off of last summer where we did these big shows in Atlantic City. There was 30,000 people on the beach, and to think about a drive-in show. But, I like the way that they're doing the drive-in shows. God, you're just saying that Chris, what was his birthday? Is he 32 when I was sitting backstage listening? And 32, 33?
34, just turned 34
now. I've known him for a long time. And, me, I'm not in a real hurry to go back. We have little concerts in our neighborhood already that people set up in front yards. There was a great one around the corner that was a little bit more like a Santana type band yesterday, and 2 days before a jazz band. But I don't know if I'm ready to go, back into, human soup. Not sure we're ready for human soup yet.
It's certainly still very dangerous.
Yeah.
And we have to tackle this as a country. Right now it's piecemeal. You hear about a little show maybe going on in Georgia, or maybe something going up in Nebraska. But I live in California, and I think we're going to have to tackle this whole situation as a nation before there's any true touring or anyone's really going to be able to get out there and work the way we want to.
I agree.
Yeah, absolutely. Although I do like the idea of a drive-in concert, but I also like the idea of a drive-in movie. That's so I feel like it would just be a cool experience in general.
Yeah.
So maybe I'll see if I can go to one.
But there, even like in the UK, there are places doing now socially distant concerts and festivals.
Yeah.
Like the stanchions, like they have like different platforms spread apart. Does that,
and the Flaming Lips did one you got in a bubble, this week and floated around.
I saw that.
Everyone's trying, and I think right now, it is, I think, you can't, people aren't, sitting on the sidelines for an artist. At first when they canceled touring and, when it was in March, everyone said, oh, and by June you'll be on the road. Or then it went to August, and now we're sitting here. I can't believe it's I'm in California where up until yesterday it was still 100 degrees. So you lose track of that. We're approaching the end of October here, and so if it's in your blood, whether you're a artist, a crew, a person, it's in your blood to be that gypsy and be out there bringing the show to people. And mentally, it's definitely, I think, starting to wear. We talk about COVID fatigue, and if there's ever a time we can't have COVID fatigue, is right now, because we're going into the winter and we're seeing the numbers go up every day, and I know we're all getting antsy and everyone wants to get together. I mean, this is when we really have to buckle down and make this work.
Yeah, absolutely.
I agree. Yeah,
absolutely.
I think about the last show I saw was in February.
Oh my gosh.
And the last show you played was in March. I mean, you played a show like 3 days before the world shut down.
Pretty much right before it. And
so were you out on the road then? Were you on tour?
I wasn't on tour, but we did play a show in Atlanta with Red Jumpsuit Apparatus. And to at least say that it was a great show to kind of go out on.
Yeah.
The last show right before everything hit, it was a sold out show. It was it was so fun.
And I couldn't go because I had COVID.
And didn't know it at the time.
I thought I had the flu, and it was not. It turned out not being the flu, but
and that's what's so scary about like this particular season is like, is it the flu or is it COVID?
Yeah.
Like, I'm sick.
It's getting scary, but I don't know. I think about like, summer just ended. What will the world look like next summer? I mean, do you think? Do you ever see it going back to normal?
I think eventually we'll whatever that new normal is. I think everything's going to change in some way. Will we go back by next summer? I think you could throw out any date now. You could say, we're not going to have a concert till here. Put out any date, and if it's one day earlier, it's a blessing.
Yes.
It's going to be a blessing. I spoke up early on. I was in the hospital when this all started to happen. I was having a surgery, and I watched the hospital changing and the protocols change. And I started asking questions, at the end of February, and I spoke up a little bit in some articles and things that, if we lose Ultra Music Festival, then Coachella is going to be a domino. And a lot of people were mad at me. They were like, "What is he saying? Like, why? What's he?" And I think I was trying to warn without, that kind of like, I'm picking up on things that we need to start preparing for this, because I mean, we had so many artists that were getting ready to go up on the road. And all I'm thinking a lot of times is this happened at probably, you never want to say a good time for a pandemic, but this was the slowest part of the season for touring, was that end of February. We hadn't gotten into full touring mode for a lot of artists. Festivals hadn't really ramped up. There'd been a couple of them, but I was thinking like, wow, if this had broken out in June when everyone was touring and giant festivals were going on. And I look back at myself, and we've watched a couple, in my classes at USC, we played some videos, and I just look and I go, wow, one like 1 week of Warped Tour would have been in 6 cities. We would have done, 10 to 15,000 people a day. Think what a super spreader was. I mean, a Trump rally would have been rookie time, but
Yeah.
And we wouldn't have known what was going on and what we were doing. So how this could have really, really been devastating if we had been into full touring mode, full festival mode. I mean, you would have had Coachella with 125,000 people. You would have had Shaky Knees. You would have just had festivals everywhere, every weekend with 100,000 people going to festivals a weekend. And all going back into their communities. It could have been a lot worse, I think.
Yeah. Absolutely. Megan and I both had tickets to Bonnaroo, and Bonnaroo was sold out for the first time in years.
And we saw it get postponed
again. And now it's in September of next year.
Yep.
So we are looking at a year and a half without Bonnaroo, which is a long time, but I mean, it's better than the alternative.
Yeah, but I mean, you're absolutely right. I mean, of course, there's no good time for a pandemic, but the timing was probably
the best it could have been.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
Because I feel like a lot of spring tours pick up end of March, early April. Yeah. So even those spring tours couldn't have quite happened.
Yeah.
You got to look for the silver lining in everything a little bit, kind of.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
It could have been a lot worse.
Yeah. Of course. So what do you think the new normal might look like? Do you see temperature checks at the doors of concerts for the next decade? Do you see masks being mandated at shows? What do you think it looks like?
Masks are going to become more regular to our society as a whole. Are they once we have a proven vaccine, and we have it, but when you're in Europe or when you're in Asia, and I've spent time in Asia, masks, if you're wintertime in crowded quarters, masks are kind of the norm.
Yeah.
So I think there's going to be more thoughtful process about this. Some of these, you see plexiglass in stores, and you see these separators. During flu season, that could be very helpful anyhow, having some of the separation between people. So some of this will carry on. When this first started, I was like, wow, I don't think we're going to be able to get back to it until we have a vaccine, and you're going to have like a driver's license card that, you're going to carry with you that'll be scanned into a club that says you're good until this date or venue, where we go into large gatherings, Disneyland or one of these kind of places. Now I know that there's, technology is coming into play, and people are talking about, having an app on your phone, but I see that we all, human nature, no one would watch a streaming show, and the growth of streaming shows, artists now, you guys have the podcasts, there's artists having podcasts. I think it's changing our industry long-term. And some of it will be, I think, diversifying it a little bit, so everyone doesn't depend on making 70 to 75% of all their money touring. I think people are having to look at these fingers of the business a little, and they'll be long term. They're going to be with us. But do I see us coming right back and having giant, festivals and mosh pits and all the things we love, and what I was, it's pretty tough when you're. That's what my specialty was. There's people who do this, but when you're known as the person that can create these giant, massive, swirling humanities, I don't know. I'm probably at the bottom of the list of when I'll be able to do one of those. So.
I know a while ago, someone tweeted you and asked if Warped Tour could come back, and you said possibly under a different name. What did you mean by that? And is that kind of shelved with everything going on right now?
Yeah, there's no rush to anything right now. That's, I guess I'm lucky in that sense. I'm enjoying teaching. I'm enjoying working like on the I Voted concerts and always finding lots to do. There's no rush. Do I see a place for something? Yes. Will it be probably on such a large scale and such a large undertaking? I don't know if it's going to be that again, but I had that It's Not Dead punk festival a few years ago out here in Southern California. And that was, that's my heart and soul, old punk rock. And, we kind of, a friend of mine, we were walking a couple of weeks ago, and we came up with a name, how to bring that back, on a weekend show, maybe when it's all time, but there's no rush for me. I think anyone, I know we all hope, but there's no rush for me, and the timing will be right if I get to do something again. But as I'm diversifying a lot of interest doing things right now, there's no rush. I'd love to do it again. I'd love, having control of my career was great. Just deciding that after 25 years, it was time to maybe do something different, step back a little bit. Some people say, oh, it was about money. It really wasn't financial. It was getting financially harder to put the tour on the road. Things are more expensive. It's insurances, all the things that go along with it. But it was really, I thought I had done everything I possibly could with that project. And, you know, I tried everything I could. I got to work with a lot of bands through a lot of their careers. And it was time to start something new. Or do something new. So, you know, I've got some things I'd maybe like to focus a little more on the philanthropic side of what we've always were about, and helping these nonprofits that got their start in those parking lots, and maybe building them out, and maybe helping our industry, you know, be more prepared for when something like this potentially happens again.
Yeah, I agree. I think that's, yeah. I mean, I know for me, like Warped, it kind of came and went with me. Like,
yeah,
I obviously wasn't old enough to go to Warped Tour when it first started, but I mean, from 2009 all the way to the end of it.
And that's the beauty of it. Is like there's so many like generations of people that love Warped Tour for so many different reasons.
Yeah.
And it's just it's a staple to so many people.
It also felt like it got a beautiful farewell. So
it did.
It was great.
Oh yeah, we had that great last year with a lot of the old bands coming back and then doing those 2 big shows. Couldn't have been a better way to wrap it up. But, you know, people loved Warped Tour. There was a group of people that grew up hating Warped Tour, generations of people who hated Warped Tour too, you know? So, you know, you're always going to have those in life. Anytime you go out and try something and do it your own way, there are going to be people that don't agree with the way you've done stuff. But, you know, it was trial and error. A lot of times, you know, I always tell my students, I didn't have anyone teach me how to do this. You know, I had to kind of figure it out, and you make mistakes throughout life, and then you try to learn from those mistakes. And, you know, what really makes me proud is watching all the people that worked in those parking lots and got their starts in those parking lots, out there running festivals, running departments at festivals, you know, large scale tour managers, people now that are working in some of this stuff. We're talking about diversifying the business a little bit more, and seeing people like Jerome Crooks, who's one of my early tour managers, working with Noel from Fits and the Tantrums and taking a lead in that role. So, you know, your legacy, you know, no one gets through it untarnished in life. But then, you know, you stack it up at the end and go, wow, you know, I think there's more people on the upside than the people who hated it, you know? So.
Yeah. Oh, I agree. I mean, I think there were always people, because I remember being on Twitter and always seeing people like sitting in the parking lot and they were like, oh, I'm getting in late. Why? And it's like, that's live show. That's the way it works. Like,
yeah, you know, I mean, we worked, and it was also the luxury of having almost 90% of the people ready to get in at doors, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, because the way we wrote that schedule, you know?
The sign of a successful show.
Yeah.
So it was, so, you know, it got a little more tricky to get people in as society changed, and you had to do security a little bit differently. Yeah. So think about it now. Not only would we have the security issues of a concert where you have to be much more careful because of the things that happened, like in Las Vegas and Ariana Grande show, but now we're going to have another layer of protocols to get into a festival or show. You know, whether that is going to be checking this ID or temperature checks or all these things, there's going to be more layers. So, you know, we're going to have to open venues even earlier to be able to accommodate this. And even at reduced capacities, it's going to be tricky. Yeah. So.
And people do not like being inconvenienced in the slightest. Oh, so the complaints will skyrocket, of course, after all of this.
Yeah,
I'm sure.
Go to a grocery store and listen to everyone whine in one line at Kroger's or Whole Foods. You know, they're all upset and that they have to stand in line. But, you know, it sounds like you had COVID and it's no fun. I can't suspect it's a fun thing to have.
Yeah, no, I think I got lucky with it, just like having typical flu symptoms, but it was just, because I was texting Megan and telling her, I was like, I really want to come to your show. And I mean, thankfully I didn't.
Right.
But I was sticking my head in a steamer like every 10 minutes trying to clear out my nasal passages. And it was just like a never ending cycle for like 4 days of just like Theraflu and a steamer.
And bless our bassist. He was probably sick with the same exact thing. Yeah. And he played the show.
He did.
Because at the time, again, didn't know what it was. You're just sick. And that's it. And I mean, he powered through.
He did.
God bless him. But
man, but he was on the up like 2 days prior to me. So
right, yeah.
And you think about it, there's going to be no powering through anymore.
No.
You know, I mean, we all been sick on the road. We've all been out working. It's going to be looked at a lot closer now. You know, it's going to be a lot closer. So I really believe that it's going to take a safe vaccine that's been through all the trials and a great set of what they're calling therapeutics on how to treat this, how we've learned. So people that it can be treated well. But when you're being treated, there's going to be no powering through on a bunch of, like we all have on Dayquil and then NyQuil to sleep on the tour bus. You know, people are going to, you know, it's going to take all of us because, you know, shutting down a tour is costly, and we don't want to do that. So I think we faked it a lot. We're just fine. We're just fine. And people drag themselves on that stage for that 40-minute set or an hour set, and then we see them backstage and they're not fine.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because it takes a toll on you.
It does.
It absolutely does.
Yeah, you get tired really quick. Especially, I mean, I can't imagine with the time changes, and especially on Warped Tour, like your set time changes almost every day.
And plus that heat.
Yeah,
like it's intense.
Yeah,
it's intense. Just point blank.
Yeah,
not forget even being sick. Just
being in the heat.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I mean, trust me, I've been on touring between Warped and Lollapalooza for 28 years. I was out on the road, and if anyone tells me there's no such thing as global warming, I can tell you the summers are getting rougher.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
I flew out. I guess the last year I flew. The last full year I did Atlanta and I did Dallas, and I thought, oh man, I thought Georgia was bad, and then I went to Dallas, and you're like, oh my gosh.
I can only imagine California.
Oh yeah. Yeah, you said it's 100 degrees right now?
Yeah, yesterday it was up to, we're now today in the it's getting nicer, but it's mid-October, you know. We had summer days out here where we're 116 this year. And you know, it's the wear and tear, and it's interesting now that I'm not doing that, because your body gets used to it and you just get up and go. You have to put on a show. But now that I don't have to really do that, you walk outside about 9 in the morning, you're like, oh, it's too hot. And now you understand what all those kids were talking about that were coming out for their one day at the festival.
Yeah.
That we kind of got, you know, it's like being in basic training that first week of Warped, where your body adjusts to it and you just get in that mode that you have to put on the show each and every day.
Yeah. Oh man, but I do love the creativity that came out of it. Like, even like not just music related, but just like finding ways to keep kids in school.
Yeah.
Like doing the online classes. Like, I feel like that opens up so many opportunities for kids that have a hard time getting to school, or just, I don't know.
Yeah. And these virtual companies are not struggling right now.
No, absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Yeah. I mean, there is certainly a silver lining, and it is that while some jobs really saw the technology world really kind of flourished,
and there's been
over the past 8 months.
There's been so many like great organizations trying to help. Like we were talking about Save Our Stages that just happened.
Yeah.
And it's just stuff like that. It gives us so much hope too, because
well, and hopefully it goes long run. Hopefully we know that we have to start preparing for this stuff. And as a group, you know, all those independent venues a lot of times didn't talk to each other, but they're talking to each other. And you know what, maybe they're going to collaborate with each other once the ones who get through this, and maybe they're going to be able to work together in booking and routing some tours together, instead of a bunch of independent people just trying to randomly book shows. Maybe they're going to cooperate a little bit more. And you know, a lot can come out of really bad situations. And this is a horrible, horrible situation. But you have to be an eternal optimist if you're going to be in this business.
Yeah.
If you're an artist, it's going to be the next song you write, or, you know, it's going to be that next great song. Or if you're an engineer, the next great album I'm going to mix, or a producer, or a live producer, for us, it's very instantaneous. We know how the show went that day. You know, it's like we get up at 6 in the morning and we work really hard, and, you know, by 10 o'clock, we know if it worked that day or not. But, you know, we are people that are always having to be looking forward to the future. And that's, you know, people would always ask me, what was like your favorite Warped Tour? What was your, I go, it was going to be the next one. It was going to be what we can do in the future to make things better and correct maybe what didn't go well the last one. And it's constant evolution. And as humans, we're evolving. And, you know, in a time right now of a lot of stress and strife, you know, that's a lot of it's out of our control, you know, but we're all looking at it going, okay, maybe it had to get this bad before we do unite together. You know, that's what a foundation is called Unite the United. And it was always about bringing the music scene together and uniting to do good. So that's why, you know, we do these things like golf tournaments or bowling tournaments on Warped Tour, or these cleanup days. and all the things we do. And now I'm hoping that maybe with Unite the United can start making more sense to people, that we have to pull people together. We can't continue bickering over social media and fighting. We have to find that 94% of us in the world can probably find some common ground. We can find some common ground. As musicians and artists, we can find some common ground. You're not going to agree with everything that someone says. But right now, the narrative is being created by the 3% of the fringe on each side.
Yeah.
They're controlling the narrative. We all don't hate each other. We all don't want to have a civil war. We all don't want, but you know what? We want some sanity. And maybe we got to get this crazy so we can pull together and go, you know what? There are issues to the environment that we have to start looking at. There are issues to our industry. So when something happens, all the crew people can't pay their rent.
Yeah.
And so that's what I'm hoping to be part of, is when this does. But each of us get up each day and we have to fight through what some days aren't good. You wake up and it's not good right now. You don't get to go run like a show. You don't have that Friday to look forward to. Work hard and go down to the masquerade and go crazy, and see all your friends. And so I'm optimistic though. Overall, I'm optimistic that there's going to be a lot of creativity come out of this whole situation.
Absolutely. Well, we do have a few more minutes with you, and I hope you don't mind, but we have a little game that we'd like to play.
Sure.
We did creep on your Instagram just a little bit, and we found some interesting pictures, and we just want to kind of get to know you, aside from just Warped Tour, and just get to know you. So I hope you don't mind, but I pulled up some pictures, and I'd like to get your input on what these pictures are.
Sure.
So I did see you have a lot of fishing and a lot of going to the lake, going on the water. I found this. I just wanted to hear you talk about what you love and.
Well, during the pandemic, it was like, how do you things like golf, you could go out and be separate. This is a kayak photo. This was taken off the coast in Santa Barbara. I go kayak fishing every once in a while with a friend. He has an extra kayak. So it was a very, very calm morning. It's never usually that calm under the pier, but I was able to get under the pier and kind of fish all the way. But when I looked up, it was just peaceful. You were like on your own lane. That's like, I was sitting on my own lane highway out to the sea right there. And I took that one morning off the coast of Santa Barbara.
Oh man, and it's a gorgeous picture.
Yeah,
because I don't know. I also like kayaking. I haven't been in a while, but it's so peaceful, and it's just.
I feel like it's one of those split-second moments that you forget how bad things are.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and that's what you found being out on the water. You're not worried about wearing your mask. You don't have to wear a mask. You don't have to have hand sanitizer every 2 seconds. So now you want to go to the grocery store. You got to have all your supplies to figure out to go down the block to a store. But out there, it was like, okay, this is okay.
Yeah. I also saw this. We have a few more days until the Adapt conference. I want to hear a little bit about your role in this and kind of walk us through what this is going to look like.
Well, I was able to sit back and talk. That's one thing of being, something like the Warped Tour, Mayhem Fest. I kind of knew a lot of people, and a lot of people wanted to just talk, and that's what a lot of us needed to do when this was all starting. And I was watching how a lot of people were paralyzed at the beginning to do anything. They thought that touring would come back in June and everything would be okay. But as it stretched out, I started seeing people in our industry doing really, really cool things, and thriving and surviving are pretty much one and the same at this point almost.
Yeah.
If you can keep your business going. So I started talking to people and said, maybe we, and conference, maybe I look back now and maybe we shouldn't have called it conference. It's a teaching sessions. These are teaching sessions. So I found people like Randy Nichols, who manages Under Oath. And Under Oath, you guys know Under Oath, and probably most of your listeners know Under Oath, but they're not like BTS. BTS can do anything. They make a deal with Samsung. It's like crazy. And 10 million people. But Under Oath is a working band like so many artists that we know.
Yeah.
That having a manager who really dug in and figured out how to monetize and help his band during this time that would have been out on the road touring, and doing these vinyl records he did, creating custom merchandise, the series of streams. He did a nice piece of business for his band, and he's more than willing to teach people what worked for him and what roadblocks. And then I teamed him up with Deb Klein, who has an artist, Melissa Etheridge, And to see what she's doing every day at 3:00 in the afternoon, she's been able to bring her fans together and do different things together. So, we have that. And then these drive-in shows. We have Vincenzo, who was a small promoter on the Central Coast. I did a couple benefit shows with. And so it's a real teaching. It's a real learning experience. And we're running all kinds of things for people that are out of work, where we've got scholarships available, student discounts, tickets are still available. I just thought it was to bring these people into one place, because you can't sit on the sidelines anymore. Some artists are wondering why they haven't done anything. Some managers are still trying to figure it out. So this group of people are going to be more than willing to talk about how they're moving this business forward.
Awesome.
I love that.
I think, this next picture I think is my favorite out of the 5. Please talk about this. I know it's a little
old. That's Joan. That other photo, that platinum or that record behind me is also from Joan Jett, right behind me. Yeah, Joan Jett is, the epitome of punk rock, and there's so many, but a completely honest person. And I'll never, when she came on Warped Tour, it's as clear as day. Everyone was like so excited about Joan Jett coming out on the Warped Tour, and no one knew how to handle this. Like, she's punk rock royalty. And I'll never forget, we were in Washington, D.C., and I was sitting by my tour bus, and people were like, oh my God, Joan's going to need a golf cart. And, Warped Tour, we don't use golf carts. You walk, you do your thing. And
you have a bike.
Yeah, she got the bike. This is how the bike came. So I was sitting under my tent watching everyone treading lightly, like, how are we going to deal with this? And all of a sudden I see her in her golf cart, and she pulls up and she looks at me and goes, so what's all these bikes? And I said, well, that's how people get around on the Warped Tour. They get their bike, they get some exercise. And she looks at her road manager, Kenny Laguna, and her road manager and Kenny Laguna, her partner, and said, I want a bike. And they gave me the most dirty look, because we're not talking kids. These are not kids. And the next day you saw Joan with a bike with her road manager behind her. And
oh my God.
Kenny Laguna, and just the visual of them. And she was such a joy to have, because Warped Tour had a lot of females working on it and also playing. We had a lot of people, and she just warmed up to everyone. And she was at barbecues, and she was talking to people, and she's a genuine person. And still, I just got invited. She's doing something politically, and Kenny emailed me to invite me to something she's doing Wednesday night. But Joan Jett and then they showed up at a show a couple years ago. They said they were in the area, and I know they were making a lot more money. And they said, Kevin, we want to come play Warped Show. And I said, I can give you some. And they're like, we don't care. We just want to come be part of it for a day. And there's still a lot of videos out of her just when she went up on stage, and this was a whole next generation of young females that were out on Warped Tour, as well as young bands, and just see the crowd around her while she played. And, she's a pro, and and a pro as a human being, in all levels.
Oh man,
I like hearing that. That makes me so happy.
Yeah, absolutely. Because especially, women in the industry, it's so great to see as many of them as possible, and being amazing, amazing human beings, amazing artists. She's
one of a kind, and just that makes me happy to hear that she's just one of a kind as a person too.
Yeah, we were put in a Hall of Fame last week for AIBA, last year for a professional organization, and it was an agent who was kind of very nice to me in the business, myself and Joan Jett. So it was pretty cool.
Oh man,
I love that.
That is what a good note to end on.
Yeah,
I feel like that is amazing.
That was
Oh man, just thank you so much for taking the time to sit down and talk with us.
I do have one more question for you.
Sure.
Post-pandemic, if you perfect world, if you had it your way, post-pandemic, who's the first band you'd go to see?
Probably Rancid.
Rancid.
Okay.
I love that band. I miss Tim Armstrong. Miss Rancid.
Well, there you go, Rancid.
You heard it here, folks.
Well, thank you so much for coming on today. We really appreciate you coming and talking with us.
All right, thank you. And that My Chemical Romance reunion wouldn't be bad either. So.
It wouldn't be. I was excited and kind of got my hopes and dreams crushed, but maybe next year.
One day. It'll happen.
Their gold record right there, back there in the back corner there.
Okay. Well,
put up my favorites up on the wall. So, all right.
That is so
thank you guys.
Thank you so much. Have a good night.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Oh man.
All right, you guys. Well, you heard it here first. Kevin Lyman. That was amazing.
There's no outro for that.
I don't even know what to say. Follow us at She Headbang. We're going to post this literally everywhere.
YouTube, Spotify, of course, follow us on all of our socials.
She headbangs everywhere. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, and we will see you next week. I don't even know what the topic is, and I don't care. I'm on cloud 9 right now. Bye, you guys.
Bye.